Again, the 1987 Constitution can be regarded as a reaction to the tyrannical years of President Marcos' dictatorial rule. So the Philippines once again became a republic by the virtue of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. And this is the fifth republican form of government of the Philippines, which established with three co-equal branches of the government, and those holding office or the public officers of the Philippine government, as well as the different rights of the Filipino citizen in the Philippines. 18 articles of the 1987 Philippine Constitution finished the draft charter within 4 months after it was convened. The following are the titles of the 18 articles of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. So we cannot afford to discuss everything or all the articles of the 1987 Constitution, but we will give emphasis the different or the important topics based on the is of our societies. So most probably we will discuss the overview of the Article 1 to 8. Let us now discuss the first article of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which is national territory. Territory is very important in a certain society or in a certain state or country. It is because this is one of the elements of the state wherein it state our jurisdiction or in Tagalog nasasakupan and the limitation of our powers or our sovereignty. Territory or the Article 1 of the 1987 Constitution, the national territory comprises the Philippine archipelago with all the islands and waters therein, and all other territories over which the Philippines has sovereignty or jurisdiction consisting of its terrestrial, fluvial, and aerial domains, including its territorial sea, the seabed, the subsoil, the insular shelves, and other submarine areas. The waters around, between, and connecting the islands of the archipelago, regardless of their breadth and dimensions, form part of the internal waters of the Philippines. So when we say national territory of the Philippines, it states the delimitation of the territory of the Philippines. And it is also described the geographic feature of our country, which is an archipelagic country, is to claim the title and the ownership of our state, specifically the three domains of territory, including terrestrial, fluvial, and aerial domains. Most probably, there is a complication when it comes to fluvial domains. It is very important to give the specific um, dimensions of the fluvial domain of our territory. One of the main concept of national territory is our geographical structure, which is elaborating our archipelagic doctrine. So when we see archipelagic doctrine, it describes that our country is an archipelago. So when we see archipelago, this is a group of islands surrounded by waters or vice versa. It can be a body of waters studded by islands. So when we see archipelagic doctrine, it emphasizes the unity of our land and waters. In that Philippines is not divided by means of the separation of lands and waters. You can notice in our national territory or in our Article 1, there is no specific measurement of our territory, or there's no country that gives their own measurement of their territory, because UN clause or the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea gives the prescribed measurement of our territory. So by means of our EEZ or exclusive economic zone, this is a sea zone prescribed by UN clause extending up to 200 nautical miles, baselines of a state over which the coastal state has sovereign rights. So we have two ways of baseline. It can be the normal baseline and the straight baseline. The purpose of exclusive economic zone is to give our sovereign rights to explore, exploiting, or conserving and managing our natural resources of our country, in state. To know our specific territory or the limitation of our territory, it is because there are some issues that cause a territorial disputes. That is the issue of Spratly Islands. There are several countries or Asian countries that gives their claims to the Spratly Islands. But the question here is, country has the right to explore and exploit the different natural resources in Spratly Island. And China and Philippines is very determined to the know the legal jurisdiction of this island. It is because there are a lot of natural resources that gives wealth to the nation or to the country.